All right, I got us recording.
All right. All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to HedgePay. Welcome, Paul. Appreciate you coming, man. I was trying to figure out how to record, guys, with your screens up. I finally figured it out. I had to change the name at the top as well. So welcome to another exciting AMA here at HedgePay. I'm Robert. Along with me is our CEO, Mason. And today with us, we have Paul with AITECH. And let me grab here. A little bit about AITECH. Their intelligence is more than artificial, guys. So Solidus Ai-Tech Limited, they were established in January 2021 as the artificial intelligence arm of the parent company, Solidus Technologies. Solidus Ai-Tech is building an eco-friendly, high-performance computing and HPC data center and infrastructure as a service, IaaS platform, where governmental authorities, megacorps, SMEs, and professionals will be able to purchase artificial intelligence services seamlessly via our AITECH token, which is amazing. And guys, I've done a lot of research on this, and this is one of my favorite tokens I think I've ever seen, because I am, as you guys know, I'm into AI big time. I do have a mobile app platform that runs through AI that I spent about 7,000 hours and 6.5 years building. So very excited about this project here. They are raising overall $48 million in their pre-sale. We are one of the IDOs that will be handling their pre-sale as well, and we're really excited to have them on. So once again, welcome aboard over here, Paul. One last thing I have to say, although AITECH has been vetted and doxed through us, this is not financial advice. So please do your own research before getting involved in any token on any network. So once again, welcome, Paul. I'm going to turn it over to you and Mason.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Robert. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, Paul, tell us a little bit about how'd you get involved in cryptocurrency? How'd you get involved in this project? And give us a little bit of background about you and your team, my friend.
Yeah, so I got involved myself personally back in 2015 by a friend that was kind of talking about Bitcoin. I didn't really know much about it, and I did a bit of research and decided to invest some money. And yeah, it worked out well for me. So that's really where the interest kind of sparked. And at the time, we was in the financial sector raising capital for other organizations, mainly property developers and renewable energy providers. But a lot of our clients during the 2017 bull run were interested not in property deals or renewable energy deals. They were very interested in crypto. But we didn't have anything crypto based on our books. And a series of unusual events happened not long after this kind of situation come about. And I was reintroduced to a family friend of mine who I hadn't seen for a little while. And it turned out that they were building Ethereum mining farms in Europe. And over a series of conversations and meetings, we decided to actually meet in person in London. And Adrian Stoica, now co-founder of AITECH, flew over to see myself and my team. And over a couple of days of meeting, we decided to join forces. And that's really where Solidus Technologies were born. It was around December 2017. And they were set up to raise funds from high net worth individuals and sophisticated investors. And the idea was that with those funds, we would build a data center and lots of GPUs to mine and validate the Ethereum network. And that's exactly what we did. So we structured it as a bond. And so it took a little while to put together, but by April 2018, the bond was live. The worst possible time to launch a cryptocurrency bond because the market had completely changed. So it was literally the worst time that you could have launched a product in crypto. However, we was fortunate enough to have already like a network of clients that we had dealt with for a number of years. So we had trust there with them. and we still managed to raise around 4 million sterling from those investors. And what we did is we wanted to be generating revenue quite quickly. So we took a decision to use the first portion of the funds to buy the GPUs. And we was lucky enough to have a location to which Adrian had access to, a smaller location than obviously the vision of building a data center. But with the amount of capital that we had deployed to begin with on GPUs, it was big enough to house what we was going to buy. So we purchased the GPUs, and after 2-3 months we had them up and running, mining. I think it was around August 2018 we actually started mining. The idea was to move the GPUs to the data center once it was built. So alongside setting up the Ethereum mining rigs in the temporary location, we were building the data center, which took a bit of time to build. And the idea was that we was going to move the Ethereum miners to the data center once it was built. But we didn't realize, we believed in Ethereum, and we knew it had a lot of growth potential, but we didn't realize how much it would grow in the time of installing the GPUs in a temporary location, to then having a data center completed. And then the idea of them moving them across, it would have been a lot of downtime. So uninstalling, moving them across, reinstalling them, it would have maybe cost us a couple $100,000, probably more. So we decided to keep those miners in the temporary location, and they still remain there today. We have the 8,000 square foot data center shell completed. We have 2 megawatts of power there installed. And what we did early 2020, just around the time of the pandemic, I believe it was around March, we were looking at the Ethereum roadmap and the vision of the business and where we would be in the next couple of years, because I like to kind of forward think and look and analyze where the business will be. And we just didn't believe that we would be mining Ethereum not at the profitability levels that we was mining it at when we first started, because the complexity's gone up significantly. And of course we then kind of made a decision internally to shift our focus on artificial intelligence, obviously a sector that's growing exponentially every single day. So it kind of made sense to just change strategy slightly, but still use the data center that we've built. And that's really the journey that we've been on. And this is why Solidus Ai-Tech was incorporated as the artificial intelligence arm for the ICO.
That's amazing, man. What a great origin story too. It's very, very good, man. It's cool that you started off with these Ethereum mining rigs, and essentially you're delegating a portion of these Ethereum mining rigs to the AI that you've developed?
No, so the rigs that we bought, they won't be compatible for AI. So we're just going to have to run. We're going to have to run them. I mean, look, they've been running now for a number of years, so they're getting old anyway. So we're just going to keep them running. We're just going to keep them running until they can't run anymore, and we'll just get as much as we can out of them. We've done pretty well. We've mined quite a lot of Ethereum up to date, albeit the rewards are not as rewarding anymore. But we're going to keep them running until they don't run anymore. All new funds that are raised to purchase equipment will be used on HPC servers that can you can run AI, and you can also mine with them as well, although I don't think that's in the plan. But certainly for running the AI, the HPC servers, that's where the majority of the funds that we're raising will be deployed.
Awesome, man. That's great. It's very cool project. I really love the idea of using AI as a and like tokenizing it. It's really, really clever. So with your team, you guys did you guys decide what made you decide to go into the AI versus something different? Is it just something you thought would be like a forward thinking plan, something that you knew was going to be developed more and it was going to be used more frequently? Is that kind of what you thought?
Yeah, I mean, with our partnership with Soft Galaxy International. Adrian, he's our co-founder. He's actually a very good friend of mine as well. He's a very intelligent guy, and he's really the brains when it comes to the software side of things. And he has two companies in Bucharest. He has Optoelectronica. They own a lot of patents, and they work with a lot of organizations within the defense sector and governmental organizations as well. He has a long list of clients that he's been working with for a number of years. And also Soft Galaxy International. They have a very long list of blue chip corporate clients that all require services in the AI sector. So I mean, look, it's a case of like, you know, he has relationships with them. They require services that we can provide. And it's just really a case of getting the data center up and running. And we have business there. You know, it's that there's a lot of letters of interest that we have from some very big entities. And so it made sense, you know, that we can build something, and we're not going to have to look for the business. You know, the business is there. Obviously, you know, the amount of power that we're going to be generating, I'm not sure whether his client base will, you know, use all of that power. But of course, if it gets to the point of, you know, we need to sort of start outsourcing, then we have a very big marketing budget in place anyway. We're not solely reliant on Adrian's clients, but it's a good place to be. It's a good place to start. And we will be announcing partnerships that we have in place after the ICO raise has been completed, because there are some organizations that, as much as they require our services, that is all they require. You know, they don't necessarily want to be associated with an ICO raise. They want to deal with us from the business side of things, because we're talking about, you know, big entities within the defense sector and, you know, governmental authorities. And they're still not completely adopting this type of work yet, you know, with crypto.
Yeah. So it's decentralized too. So anybody who purchases the token will be able to delegate a portion of the workload. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So basically so we're building two things. So we've built the data center. We're building it out with the what we need to do is we need to get the ventilation system in there, and the HPC servers and cabinets. We're also building an infrastructure as a service platform where the organizations that we already have spoken to about what we're doing will be purchasing services. Now, there's two ways of doing it. You can purchase the service with fiat, and we can then purchase the tokens to then purchase the service via like a buyback kind of thing, or they can use our token to buy the service. And for doing that, we will offer a discount. Now, when the token's been used to purchase the service, every quarter we will be burning a proportion of those tokens, making our token deflationary. So our circulation supply is 10 billion, and our kind of plan is to reduce that circulation supply by 50% over the coming years. So it's going to help to increase our tokens stability and also the price.
Great. Wow. Are you guys using a minting protocol, or you're starting off with the 10 billion and then just releasing it, and then it will deflate as time goes on?
So we have 4 billion that we're selling in the ICO. And then there's the other tokens have been broken up into different proportions. Obviously, you have advisors, we have a staking pool pot as well, because we're going to have a staking platform, you know, marketing, the management and developers. So they're broken up into different segments, but we're selling 4 billion. Whatever we don't sell before we list, we will then be burning those tokens as well. And then it's just a case of burning as the services are used with the token. We can then burn those tokens every quarter.
Wow, awesome. So you'll have like kind of like a public burning. Is that how it is, like every quarter?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That
We'll
would
be
be great.
announcing that. We'll be announcing that as well, and giving amounts and things that we've burnt.
Wow, that's cool, man. It's really an interesting project, and I'm very excited about this one. I'm going to be buying your project personally for sure. And so how we're going to do this is, I guess we'll go ahead and just open up for a few questions. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions about this one. This is really cool. You guys have a lot of stuff that's going on. I already see one hand up, and I haven't even opened up questions yet. So I'll go ahead and unmute that person and let them ask, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, Shabazz. Shabazz, I've already had unmuted you. If you want to unmute yourself, you can go ahead and speak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Almost every investor hold the token for the short term without understanding the long term value. So how can you ensure for us that holding this token is more beneficial for long term? And what is your plan to increase the demand?
Okay, good question. So, firstly, we have this token under vesting schedules as well. So, if you were to buy now, there is a 3-month vesting schedule with a 1-month cliff. The incentives we've put in place for long-term holders is the staking pool, which will go live 1 month after listing, because obviously there's no tokens available for 1 month anyway. And the staking pool will last up until the point of when our infrastructure as a service platform goes live. I believe that we've allocated enough tokens to last up to 18 months. So from the point of when all the funds have been raised, we will then need around 12 to 18 months to purchase all the equipment, install it, and make it live. So we want to keep our community engaged. And the way in which we'll do that is by offering rewards for staking the tokens, which will obviously stabilize our price. And what we're also doing as well is we're going to be offering a kind of an airdrop every quarter. So the way the staking platform works is that you can unstake each quarter, but if you continue to stake for another quarter, we will then enter you into some kind of like lottery airdrop where set amount of AITECH tokens will be distributed to random wallet addresses. And we also have the burning programs as well. What we also have, which has not really been announced, it hasn't been announced, is we're also launching some NFTs. But our NFTs are going to be different to what's ever been released before. So they're AI metabots that will be programmed and coded to be taken into the metaverse in the future. And we're also going to offer staking on those metabots as well. So I believe we're probably around 1 month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months max from actually launching those. So there's going to be 2 types of staking. Now, you can only be whitelisted for the metabots if you have purchased the minimum amount of AITECH tokens. And there's not going to be many of these metabots available for sale. So that's really what we're doing in order to keep this as a long-term plan for all of our purchasers. We can't stop people from selling. All we can do is incentivize them from not selling. And the real value and growth in this project will be not after we've listed. It will be after we have made our platform, our infrastructure as a service platform live, and we start then announcing the partnerships that we have with big corporate entities that will make this project grow massively. But this is all going to happen, in the next couple of years. This is not a, get rich quick scheme. This is a long-term, real tier 1 project that can have significant growth. You've got to look at the fact that we're in 2 sectors here that are very, very young, cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. And we've combined them both together. And with my team, the utility, the fundamentals, everything we have the recipe to be very, very successful. But it's going to take time.
Thank you. And my second question is, do you have any coin burn buyback system? You also
Yes.
only share to buyback system, sorry. Because
look,
any token burn plan to increase the volume and a token to attract to investor to invest.
Yeah, so if I've understood your question correctly, I did mention this a moment ago. So we have a burn program and the burn program will be any tokens that are not sold during the ICO, they'll be burnt. And then, of course, when our infrastructure as a service platform's live and our tokens being used to purchase the services, we will then burn a percentage of those tokens. That percentage has not been defined yet because we want to understand exactly how many tokens there are left in circulation. We have an idea of what we're going to make that percentage, but we'll judge that after we've completed and concluded the ICO. In terms of buybacks, we have that in our white paper. So there are buybacks that we can do as well if we feel it's needed. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Oh, thank you. And one last question. You asked NFT. So what are the role of NFT in your ecosystem?
I don't understand the question, sorry.
What are your role of NFT in your ecosystem? What are you using for NFT, your ecosystem, AITECH?
So AITECH are launching a series of NFTs. They're not your typical NFTs. These are 3D artificial intelligence metabots that will be coded to be taken into the metaverse in the future. That's not going to happen after we've launched them. So in order to reward, again, our purchases of the NFTs, we are, again, going to incentivize the purchasers to stake them on our platform to earn rewards. Of course, once that staking pool has ended, the same as the other staking pool for the purchase of tokens, of course, we should be then in a position to then take them into the metaverse.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries.
Thanks for your question, bud. Yeah, that NFT idea is really good. So it's like it's an AI bot that's in an NFT form, and you said you need to hold a specific amount of AI tokens in order to be able to mint one. Is that right? So you'll hold a certain amount. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we're launching a very low amount of them. Again, that amount has not been 100% decided, but we've got a couple of figures in mind, and we want to offer them to our community to begin with, because it's only fair that we offer to our community first. We've got thousands of investors. We've got tens of thousands of registrations that have taken place on our ICO platform. So in the first instance, we're going to offer to the actual purchasers of our tokens, and I believe that they're going to sell out very quickly to the purchasers. Yeah. But of course, if you want to be whitelisting for these metabots, you need to have tokens, and the minimum buy-in, as you know, is $500. So we will be announcing. I mean, this is probably one of the first times I've actually mentioned this on any type of AMA. It might have been mentioned in a small way before, but never really gone into detail because we've been building it in the background. And so I'm excited about it. I had a sneak peek yesterday of how they're looking, and they're looking unbelievable. And looking forward to actually launching and getting them out there.
Man, that's such a good. So you have utility backed with it too, and the scarcity of it. Now, is there different levels of like rarity associated with it, or is it just? Is it? Oh, there is. Wow.
Yeah. I won't tell you how, but that would give it away. But there is rarities with them as well. And there's also another exciting hook with them that is going to be very very exciting. But again, I'm going to keep that one aside.
Yeah, keep it close to the chest. That's
we have to leave some things behind, you know. Otherwise,
of course.
There'll be no excitement.
I mean, you already sold me on it. I mean, like, I'm not even a big NFT guy. I think I have like one NFT, and I'm like, yeah, I'm buying that NFT if I can. If I can be one of the first people to do
look, the thing with NFTs is that you can't really do much with them. You know, it's just a JPEG. So we wanted to kind of release something that you can earn rewards on, and also it can do something in the future. So they're going to be programmed to be able to go into the metaverse. I mean, obviously that's something that will happen after we've sold them, and we'll then work on the logistics of how that's going to happen. But that's the vision and the plan, and that's what's going to happen.
Man, that's great. I love utility being added to it because there's so many times that these things are selling for like an insane amount of Ethereum, like 100 Ethereum or something ridiculous. And you're like, there's not even a utility to it. It's just a little bit of pixels and it's great. Like I'm a big utility guy. I really love it. That's what you guys are doing, man.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
very,
look,
very
we should do well. We've got a big company behind the NFTs as well. You know, a lot of NFTs that launch, they just launch out of nowhere. There's no substance behind them. No one knows, you know, who they are or what they are. You know, there's no team behind it. You know, this is coming from AITECH, you know, that we're launching our own NFTs, but we didn't just want to launch something that didn't really have any substance behind it, which is why we have decided to structure it in a certain way, and we want to be different. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, I'm really big on it. I think this is probably one of the coolest things I think I've seen, and I don't usually say that about any project whatsoever, but I'm really into that. And I really don't like NFTs, but I really like these. These are great. So, all right, I'm talking too much. I'm going to open up the question. We got another question here.
I have a question for you, Paul. It's Robert. Tell me about some of your partnerships. I've never seen a token with the partnerships that you guys currently have. It's amazing. Like Microsoft. Yeah. How did you get these partnerships, and are they huge investors in the project at this point from what you've already raised?
Yeah, so good question. No, Microsoft haven't invested, unfortunately. The partnership with them is via their Azure platform, so they will leverage from our HPC power. They are going to be one of our lowest paying customers because it's Microsoft.
Right.
But you know, it's something that we have in place. Most of the partnerships that we do have, we haven't announced them yet, you know, and we won't be announcing them until after the listing has taken place. But the majority of the partnerships that we have in place are via our well, it's actually Adrian. He's a co-founder of AITECH. He's a joint venture partner in the mother company, Solidus Technologies. And as I said previously, I'm not sure at what point you joined the call, but he has a long list of corporate clients with his existing businesses that will be using our services when we go live.
Yeah, that's really great. It's great you already have those clients set up and ready to go too. So you're not, you know, it's not like you're coming to the table and being like, "Hey, here are all these things that we promised and that'll be out eventually." It's like you're already bringing utility and use to the table with clients that you already have sold and ready to go, man. I think that's a really smart way to approach this. I think it's really clever. I think it's going to really work out positively, like insanely positively. All right, now yeah, of course. All right, Oscar, I'm going to go ahead and allow you to speak, buddy. I just unmuted you. Go ahead and ask your question for our friend here.
Hi, good morning. I actually have a few questions. I might have missed it. I'm just want to verify. It's actually a great idea. I love the idea. Besides your project, I'm the same as you, man. You know, like I'm totally in it. And especially with the partnerships that they have. One thing that I want to know, though, however, for the airdrop, is there a minimum that you must have? I believe you said it was 500, but is that the minimum that you must have for the airdrop?
Yeah, so the minimum is $500, and you can stake with $500, and you will be entered into the airdrops if you have the $500 invested on the platform. Yeah, so that's how it's going to work. There may be tiers. But you can definitely enter with the 500 minimum.
Okay, and the other one is basically like you said, that's also in reference to the NFT. You got to have that 500 in order for you to get the MetaBot NFT, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah, so as long as you're an investor in the project, 500 is the minimum. Then you will be able to whitelist for one of the AI metabots. There's no guarantee that you'll get one because there's a very low circulation supply of the metabots, and we have already, you know, way over a couple of thousand investors, I would say. So but you have a chance, a high chance at the moment, if you were to whitelist. But the whitelisting is not going to take place probably for another, I would say, couple of weeks. I would say realistically the beginning of April, we probably will roll out the whitelisting for the metabots, but you have to be invested in order to be whitelisted.
Okay. And in the future, do you think there might be a chance that you might be running nodes also, or it's just going to be the NFTs?
It's not been spoken about. I'll be completely honest with you. NFTs is what we're doing. They will be able to be staked for 18 months, so 6 quarters. And then after that, that will give us time to develop in the background exactly what we're going to do with them in terms of metaverse.
Okay, awesome, man. I mean, this is a great project. I like the utility behind the NFTs. I'm the same way as this guy right now that was speaking. I also don't believe in purchasing NFTs that don't have no utility, and I like that you actually have the staking in the meantime to keep keep investors intrigued with the project, because a lot of people, they don't see something like moving forward or just waiting. They seem to move along. So I definitely like the project, and I'm definitely, even just getting a whitelist on the pre-sale, it's a win deal for me, man. And I appreciate the information. Have a good one, bro.
Thank you for your question. No worries.
Yeah, thank you, Oscar. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, we're gonna go to our next question. Let's see, aim high at GemNet. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, allow you to speak. Go ahead, unmute yourself, and ask our friend Paul here a question. Aim high, you there, bud?
Hello, Mason. Sorry, can we have question on someone's behalf? He said he's in a crowded place.
1 second, lobby. Just wait a sec, hon. I'll let you know when you can ask a question. Okay.
Hello.
All right, go ahead. Aim high.
Yes. My question is, I don't know if it's still on a topic, but if yes, please answer. We're talking about AI now. How does AI important to the humanity? Now, and my second question is, do you think that the current AI situation right now isn't enough to make people live a better life?
Okay, so I mean, look, for me, everyone has opinions. I know that there are some good opinions and maybe some not so good opinions in regards to AI and what it can do. My opinion is that AI is happening, whether we like it or not. And it's a case of, you've just got to roll with it. I believe that it will make things better. It already is. And it's the future, It's kind of like the internet 30 odd years ago. Lots of people didn't understand it, didn't like it, didn't believe in it, and thought it was going to, fade out or whatever. And now we cannot live our everyday life without the internet. We wouldn't be able to be doing what we're doing now without the internet. The same thing with cryptocurrencies. Again, I've got friends, family members that I've been talking to about crypto for years, and it's only when the market's looking good they then want to talk to me. What do I do? Where do I go? What can I invest into? And it's the same thing with artificial intelligence. It's a growing market. A lot of people don't understand it, so they're kind of a little bit weary of it. But I think my opinion is it's going to make the world a better place. But at the same time, we have to embrace it anyway, because it's not going to stop. The same as crypto, the same as the internet. It's happening, so we might as well embrace it and enjoy it. And I believe it will make the world a better place. And there's going to be a lot more. This is a very young market. It's a baby.
Yeah, thank you for that great answer.
Yeah. Thanks, Aim High.
This is Robert again. I can back that up. I did not understand AI years ago. I was thinking, watching the movies with robots and everything else. But I will tell you that with mechanical and machine learning, my app program that I built it usually will take about 300 hours to build a mobile app. And with AI, I call him George, he can build a fully blown mobile app with over 40 pages in that mobile app. Ready to go on the Google Store or the Apple Store in 36 minutes is what it takes my AI program to build, instead of 300 hours. And that is one of the things that's going to make it not just a better world, but easier to do things on the computer when you have AI that's learning and can do things for you. So I can guaranteed tell you that I am a 100% believer, as I've been seeing it myself for the last 4 years. And definitely. My program gets smarter and smarter every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. It is. It is the future. It is going to be something that we are going to be going. We're going to have to be dealing with anyways, whether people like it or not. I just don't think it's going to be stopped at any point. And I think it's better to be in a manner like this where you have somebody you can actually invest in and take part in it, rather than being like, I feel like, left behind in this circumstances. I mean, you guys are doing some amazing work with this, and I think it's really impressive. Have you run into any regulatory issues at all, Paul?
No, no, we haven't. Not at the moment, and hopefully we don't. But we've got a good legal team beside us, or behind us, I would say. And no, everything's been fine so far. Obviously, I don't want to touch wood and hope that it does continue that way. But no, things have been pretty smooth. The only thing that hasn't been ideal is the market conditions for us, which no one can.
Right.
There's nothing we can do about that. We just have to ride it out and hope that the market recovers or actually makes a completely different direction.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. It's not like this stuff is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's just kind of holding your breath through it and just keeping your nose to the grindstone and getting through. I think you guys are going to do great. It's either way, no matter what the market does, it's going to be you're coming out with something that actually has utility, has a project. You have a product. It's
the thing that people need to do is just be patient. I know so many people. It's just patience. If you're patient in the market, you will succeed. It's just you have to ride it out. And I've actually seen friends that have not done what I've advised them to do, and they call me in a very bad way because of they've sold everything and it's gone back up, and they bought back in and then it's gone back down. And if they just held, they would have been absolutely fine. It's just literally patience, and that is it. That's the only advice I can give to anyone. If you're willing, if you want to get rich in a day, it's not going to happen. If you're willing to hold for 4 years, you're going to get rich. It's as simple as that. We've all been through it. Anyone that's been in crypto for a number of years says they know the cycles, they know how it works. It's just the newcomers that come to the market, they hear all the hype and they think they're going to become a millionaire in a week, and it's just not. It doesn't work like that. Not unless you're super lucky and you get involved in some outrageous project, which is unlikely. Yes. But yeah, patience is the only advice I would give to anyone entering any market, really, but definitely in particular crypto. Patience is the key.
I know, and especially in a market like this where it's bad, it's like this is the good time to do it. If you actually want to be patient and you can learn that patience, now is the time to enter. Now is the time to invest in solid projects like yours and others, you know what I mean? And then hold through that, because then when the market returns, it always goes through cycles. It'll always return. It'll come up and it'll be bigger than it ever was prior,
What makes me laugh is everybody wants to buy Bitcoin at 65K, but no one wants to buy at 30. I just don't understand.
I know. It's crazy. That's like, I know. I mean, I bought Bitcoin when it was like $7 a token. I only sold it because I fell on hard times. Yeah. I had to sell it when I fell on hard times. But my wife started crying because I had lost so much weight, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll sell it. But I mean, if I had held that, I had like $1,000 worth at $7 a token. It would have been a totally different, life. But that's the thing, that patience pays off. Like if you can actually be patient and actually hold through, it really does pay off. I'm running my mouth too much. I should let some of these other people talk. Sorry.
You definitely have a hold token, just like ours. Ours is a hold token. You're not going to get rich in a day or a week, but 60% of the people, luckily you're on the ETH network, but they say in the BSC network that 60% of the people cannot hold a project for longer than a week. If they do not see a return in a week, they will sell at a loss. But there are projects out there with utilities that you can make a living off of just the reflections alone if you invest early and hold. I bought my Bitcoin in 2014, 12 of them for a little over 300 apiece, and I have not sold them. So never touched them. They're actually on my cold wallet. So I don't even mess around with those, and my ETH. I don't mess with that either. So if this is a project, guys, if you're listening, to get involved in early and hold it. And don't even look at the chart. Don't look at anything. Look at it a year later and say, oh, whoa, look at this, because it's going to keep going up and up and up. So I'll let you answer some more questions out here.
Thank you.
All right, AJ, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. You're going to unmute yourself and ask our friend Paul here a question.
Hi, Paul. I've looked at your project quite a bit over the last few months or a few weeks, I suppose. Things move pretty fast here in crypto sphere. But one of the things I was curious about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but were you not developing a trading bot, or was I incorrect on that?
No, that's not us.
Okay. So that was someone else, but that's fine. And then the other question is that if I invest this $500 and it takes a dip, does that take me out of the running for airdrops?
No, so I mean, yeah, no. So if you're investing $500, it doesn't matter if the market takes a dip because you're going to be paid in AITECH tokens, the actual token that we've sold you. So yeah, we have a pool of 1.5 billion AITECH tokens in it, specifically set aside for individuals at stake and also for airdrops as well. So it doesn't really matter what the market's doing; those tokens will still be airdropped to you, and you'll still the interest in AITECH tokens for staking as well.
Thank you. That's all I had, but I know that DBT Douglas had some questions, and I always love his questions, so I'm going to jump down.
Okay. Yep, I was just about to let him unmute him. Thank you for your question, AJ. All right. DBT Douglas, you're unmuted, buddy. Go ahead and ask Paul here a question.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Paul, I have a question for you. So the $500 staking, is that a separate pool or is that the main pool?
It's the main pool.
So the main pool. So now my other question is, what is the incentive for smaller investors to hold the token?
So if you invest $500, then that's the minimum. So you can stake your tokens to earn rewards, and you will also be entered into the airdrops every quarter if you continue to stake. So it doesn't really matter how much you invest. Obviously the more you invest, the more rewards you'll earn on the staking side of things. But of course, you'll be entered into the airdrops for just staking anyway, regardless of how much you've invested.
Right, but I mean,
providing
like people
providing
in
it's the minimum. Yeah.
let's just say like people in Kenya or something like that, $30 to them is like lifetime riches. What would engage them to want to invest? Will there be a smaller staking pool later?
No, so if someone's in Kenya and they only have $30 to invest, they won't be able to invest in the project because the minimum's $500.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Douglas. Appreciate your question there, buddy. All right, hey, so how it works is if you buy and invest and stake, do you like the tokens that are released? Does that come from like some of your supply that you have set aside for that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so we have 10 billion supply. 1.5 billion is for staking specifically.
Specifically for staking.
Yeah. So we've put 15% aside for staking, 1.5 billion tokens, and that's what's there for the stakers.
Okay.
So effectively, the more people that stake, the less of the reward that will be available because we have to share it across more people. So the less people that stake, the better the reward will be for the people that do stake. But again, we won't know that until it happens.
Right. So is there like an entry and exit fee associated with the staking pool that you're creating? So it's just stake, you lock it for 18 months?
No, so you can yeah, so you can unstake after 3 months. Okay. So what's going to happen is 1 week before the end of the first quarter, you will have the option to unstake your tokens. Okay. But if you continue to stake, we will then do the airdrop to those individuals. So effectively, we're incentivizing people to stay staked with us because that helps us. Yeah. But you're not staking and locked in for 18 months. That we're not doing that. It's 3 months, but you have the ability to stake for the whole 18 months if you like, and you'll be rewarded every quarter potentially if you get lucky on the airdrop.
Okay, so the staking pool will run for 18 months, but you only have to lock it for that period at a time. Okay, well that's great. All right, we have one more question here. Let me see, Oscar. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, buddy. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, yeah, I just had another question now that you mentioned it. You said it's 500, right? So if you get into the pre-sale, it's 500. Is the vesting period? Is there a vesting period for this? Like, is it for the 18 months?
No. No. So it's a 3-month vesting schedule with a 1 month cliff. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And also, you said that when you stake it, it's for 3 months at a time, right? So you have to claim every 3 months. Are you going to have the option, like for example, me, like I want to stake it the whole 18 months? I mean, it's my personal suggestion or opinion. I don't know how you want to take it. Will you have like a higher reward of staking, perhaps? Maybe like because I don't like doing like the have to restake every 3 months. You know, I rather just keep it long term because sometimes I have so many coins staked here and there, I forget about staking them, restaking them again. So I mean, is that something that you could possibly have, or perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and it's a good suggestion, and I've not thought about this, to be honest with you. So I'm glad you've brought it up. I think that could be possible. I mean, I'd have to speak to the developers and have a conversation and say, look, if we have purchasers that opt in and they are happy to lock their tokens for 18 months, then can we offer them a slightly higher reward in the staking pool? It's possible, and it's something that I will take from this, and I will speak to the developers. So thank you very much for the question, and it's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked it. I will speak to the developers on Monday, and we'll actually I have a call with them tomorrow morning. I'll let the guys know, and I'll give you an update.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, man. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Duke has a question.
Okay. Hey, hi Mason. I don't know if I can ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask a question.
Okay. Hi Mason. Hi Robert. Paul, you look like a movie star.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was going through your website and I saw something that was really interesting. It had to do with medicine, and it really caught my attention. And I said I was going to ask. So on your website, you said that you had AI plans. Instead of taking regular over-the-counter medicines could be tailored to your exact genome. AI algorithms will enable doctors and hospitals to better analyze data and customize their healthcare to the genes, environment, and lifestyles of each patient. From diagnosing brain tumors to deciding which cancer treatment will work best for individuals, AI is positioned to drive the personalized medicine revolution. Sorry, I had to go through all that because it gives the background for what I'm about to ask.
Sure.
I find it really interesting, and it has the potential to actually be groundbreaking stuff, awesome stuff. So my question is, there are a lot of regulations that need to be met related to that. You have technological robotics regulations. You also have medical regulations that have to be met with related to that. So are you going to run tests on people before launching this aspect to just confirm that the AI works like it says that it does? And like how many regulatory bodies have you been in contact with to just ensure that these regulations are met, and now when I read that, I was just thinking, okay, awesome. Is it that you guys are gonna have like a metaverse where you have like a hospital in the metaverse, and the holders of your token can interact with the AI and receive medical advice? Thank you.
Yeah. So good question. So look, we're not the ones that are doing the cancer research and things with AI. We're providing power to companies that will be offering those services. We will obviously have software applications that they can license from us on our infrastructure as a service platform. But a lot of organizations within the medical sector will already have their own software applications that will specifically be tailored to what they're exactly doing, and will allow them to then rent our hash power from the HPC servers. But these are just examples of what can be done on our platform. We have a research and development team that are working on different software applications that we will have on our platform that can be licensed, and we can also offer them the HPC power as well. But there's many organizations that will use our services not for the software applications because they'll have their own. It will be more for renting the HPC power from us. But we wanted to offer two types of services for companies that don't have the software applications available, and we can also make software applications as well. But that's really on Adrian's side with his research and development team in Bucharest, Romania. That's not something that I personally deal with or specialize in.
Wow, that's a really good question and a really good answer, man. Honestly, those it's very cool, the idea of the application of medical tech with AI, because that's also going to be another thing. You know, medicine doesn't work the same way on every person. Like African Americans work better with calcium channel blockers versus the typical ACE inhibitors that you would normally give them. So it's great. It's great to use that kind of that kind of technology for this. Did you have anything else, Kathan? I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, Mason, you are really a genius. So, and you started talking about the CA inhibitors and all that stuff. It just proves my point, because in the in the crypto space, people do not get to know who you really are, and talking about genome and all that stuff, it just helps to it just helps to just know what kind of drugs or what kind of medications they can be given to people. The only concern is that at some point in time in the future, that might be used to track individuals, because everybody's genome is not the same, so these are possibilities in the future. I mean, but then, medicine, it's if this can be offered to people, I mean, a lot of lives can be saved, because there are a lot of people that die trying to get to hospitals and all that, and they could just get the medical care that they want directly, from the web space. So I get it. It raises other questions, but then it can be a very powerful solution to problems.
Yeah, very powerful. I know Alabi had a question earlier, and I just wanted to get to the other people that we had on that had their hands raised. Alabi, did you have your question? Are you still there? Did we lose you? Alabi? Okay, I think she muted herself. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a very impressive technology, and I think even it did bring up a question for me that I have for you. Do you guys take any stance on specifics, like when he brought up tracking and things like that? Is there anything that somebody would approach you with the use of your AI that you'd be like, I'm not going to let you guys do that, with our AI, or is it going to be fully decentralized where anybody can do what they want with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not going to be fully decentralized, because there are organizations that we're going to be working with that will not want that fully decentralized structure.
Yeah, it's risky.
But I mean, we're talking about organizations within the defense sector and governmental authorities. They're just not at the moment. It's just decentralized, completely decentralized, won't work, and that's predominantly where our consumers will be coming from, our customers to begin with. That is where that is the business we have there in place. We have to respect what we have, but who knows? In the future, things grow and evolve, but where we are at the moment, no, it's not going to be. And we are obviously going to be careful with who we allow and what we allow them to run on our hardware and on the infrastructure as a service platform. We want to be ethical. We want to make sure that things are working, and that certain things aren't being done on our platform because if we don't like what they're doing, then of course we won't want their business, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do take a certain moral stances on certain applications of your product, like something that's maybe blatantly malevolent, or is it even something to the effect of like tracking stuff? Are you okay with tracking if that's done for in a specific way?
If it's done for the right things and the right reasons, of course, if it's gonna benefit humanity, then of course it makes sense. But if it's being used for bad things, then definitely we will not be entertaining that type of business, no matter how much money's coming through.
Right. And so say somebody has something they want to bring to you and allocate some of your services. Do they come? They purchase the token to purchase those services at a discount, right? Did I understand that portion right? But they also have to approach you guys personally and talk to like maybe one of your sales reps or something like that in order to allocate a portion of your AI.
No, I mean they're not going to have to. I mean, look, we're not in the situation yet because we don't have it live. So how the how the structure is going to work, I don't exactly have that played out in my head right now. But I don't think it's going to be good for business if everyone has to speak to a representative in order to buy services, because it's inconvenient, and some people don't want to speak to anyone. So yeah, we want to allow people to just seamlessly enter the platform and buy the services with the tokens, and obviously get a discount for doing so. And if they want to rent power, they can. If they want to license software applications, they can. If they want to do both, that's absolutely fine. But if we can see that the hardware is being rented for things that we don't really want anything to do with, then of course that's a different situation.
Right. So there always going to be a point where it is monitored what's being done on the platform to make sure that it's not being done for.
Definitely, yeah. I would say that's definitely something that we would want as a business, to make sure that things are, this is a business that we're building for the future. We don't want to have things going on with the platform that are not ethical.
I agree. It's really, but it's an amazing thing that you're going to have the wherewithal to actually put a stop to some of those things too, because that's AI can be kind of a dangerous thing. I mean, that they've shut down AIs just because they were communicating with each other in a language that the people that were watching them didn't understand.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
I mean,
all
look,
right,
we've got to run the business, but at the same time, we don't want to be in a position where we're getting bad press or bad feedback, or even entities getting involved with what we're doing because there's bad things happening on the platform that would jeopardize the business. So really and truly, as long as we can run the business in a way that is ethical, and nothing untoward is happening, and everybody's happy with the services, that's the main objective. We're running a business here that we want to run for many, many years. So and also as well our token holders, because we want this to grow, because as the business grows and the value of the token goes up, that's where the real money's made. We're not just doing this for us. We're doing this for everyone. We want to make it. We want to make the world a better place with this technology.
I think you can too. I really do. And it's just such a really cool project, and I'm glad you guys are the ones that are doing it, because it's very impressive, and I'm glad you guys are taking like a good stance on these things too. It's very important, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know we're already kind of going over here, but is there any closing statement you want to make about your project real quick, and then I'll close this out.
Well, look. Obviously, thank everyone that's already purchased. It's been quite amazing how many investors we've had since we've launched. The market wasn't our friend or hasn't been our friend, but we've still managed to do quite well in the grand scheme of things. We're going to be in Dubai next week, so if you have anyone on the chat that's going to be at any of the exhibitions next week, we're at the World Web Summit from the 13th until the 17th, I believe, and then we have a series of events thereafter, weekend VIP events and some events the following week. But yeah, you know, if anyone listening wants to purchase, you can enter the website ai-tech.io. Obviously, I know that you guys are going to be launching soon, so I would probably suggest waiting for that. Sorry, I forgot.
It's okay.
And that's it really. Yeah, no, just wrap it up here. Yeah, thank you for your questions, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great. It's great stuff, man. And also, if you do decide to do like extra bonuses for that 18 months with the staking, bro, I'm going to be doing one of those people because I definitely wouldn't be a long-term holder for this. This is a killer project. You guys got a great team, and of course you've got Paul the movie star, right? So I can't.
Thank you.
I thought you were dropping some tokens or something to them because you look like a movie star, Paul.
You're making me go red. All right. Well, look, thank you very much, guys. I have a call with the developers in the morning, so I'll chat with you afterwards, Mason, and we'll hopefully I'll have a quick decision if that's. But I'm sure it is possible, but we just need to look at the mechanics of how that would work. But yeah, I'll keep you posted, and yeah, buy from HedgePay when they go live with it. Definitely.
All right. Thanks so much, Paul. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you so much for coming by, Paul. We appreciate it.
No worries at all. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right.
Cheers.
See
Thanks,
you.
Mason. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Cheers, bud. Bye.